We are almost the first little day of Cook at the Hard Rock. This is 95.5 PLJ. We have a few more questions and then a special interview segment. When we last met underneath the Idol stage a couple weeks ago, all the stuff had really just started to happen in Joplin. When you're back around home and knocking around, how close is that to where you grew up?
Joplin is about 2 hours south. But I didn't find this out until a couple weeks later. When I was living in Warrensburg and Blue Springs, my band that I was in Kansas City, we used to drive down to Tulsa and trade shows with Neil's band in the UK. And we used to stop at this place on Rangeline Road, this place called Olive Garden. And we would go in and we'd say, hey, you know, what's the wait? And if they said there was a wait, we'd be like, hey, can we get a buzzer? And then let's put on the road, can we get some breadsticks just to tide us over? Sure. And then we would take the breadsticks and the buzzer and head down to Tulsa. We planted about 20 of those buzzers. And I tell that story, you know, and then I just found out after the tornadoes in Joplin that whole area just got wiped out. And that city is, it's hurt a lot. So I know we've kind of been in talks about trying to help out. But I mean, that, you know, one of the great things about back home, and I mean back home is the state, I mean, the whole state seems to have galvanized around Joplin, and St. Louis also got hit. You know, Labor Airport got hit, and so the whole state seems to be around themselves, which is really cool to see.
We are looking forward to watching the rebuilding process, because we know the spirit of that part of the country is alive and well, which is fantastic. When we were backstage at American Idol, David was kind enough to mention something that we do on our show that he actually remembered. It is one of the most viewed segments on our website. When we have a guest who is really cool, we put them through this torture because they know that they're willing to go with it. And it is what we like to call our recycled interview.
Yeah! Recycled interview.
You can tell.
I have a question for this. Can I get his voice in this monitor? I want to make sure I don't have to go, what?
All right. When you look at the forecast and everything that happened with the weather today, you can see the impact our show has had on global warming. So we need to perpetuate the good work we've done so far. The first time we did this, since you started as a bartender, all of your questions were originally intended for Bruce Willis, who was also a bartender, before the Hudson Hawk movie many years ago. You can find this video still posted to PLJ.com. We struggled with which direction to go with here, and then we realized, well, what if we worked with the initials DC? Who could we find? How could this work, and what would be important?
Please be David Copperfield.
It's not David Copperfield, I'm sorry. We happened to find a TV Guide interview from 1992. The questions you're about to hear are originally intended for Dana Carvey. To take you back, in 1992, David Letterman had just left one network to go to another, and it was huge news that Dana Carvey was leaving SNL to also enter the late-night television world. That did not work so well.
But to be fair, I actually have that entire series on iTunes.
Nice. These are some of the questions that appeared for Dana Carvey and TV Guide. This is our recycled interview for David Cook. It starts with a very generic question. Number one, if you had to step away from the spotlight for good right now, what would you do with yourself to make money?
No.
I would keep writing songs like Choppin' Broccoli.
Does the thought of failure frighten you?
Oh God, how do I make a joke out of that one? Yeah, actually, I'd say failure is probably my biggest fear.
Okay.
Oh well, you can't fail. Wait, never mind.
Now this is where things become really interesting because the next few questions actually would pertain to you as if I wrote them myself.
Okay.
In 3 words, describe what it's like to perform on SNL.
Scary, fun, vomiting.
Inspired by the entire skit you saw with Dana for some time, did you really freak out when you met Steven Tyler?
Kinda, yeah. On the inside, I kept it together. I was more. I was probably about 3 seconds away from calling a hand check on him when he hugged my mom. I was about 3 seconds away.
Good. Based on the church lady character, do you consider yourself a religious or spiritual person?
Oh wow, here we go. I don't know what I don't know what's going on. I think something exists. There's no way this is all just a chance, but
right.
I would consider myself spiritual.
All right. Do you have one item that you consider, this is a material item, do you have one item that you consider special?
I'm going to say...
It's a dog.
You know, I'll say my white AC Les Paul Studio.
Your Arnold impression is spot on. When was the last time you really hit the gym?
Yesterday.
What is your favorite Canadian city?
What?
God, you're gonna get me in so much trouble with this stuff. I did a week of writing in Vancouver, and I love that city. I'll say that.
Excellent. Do you do any new impressions, and would you share one with us now?
God, actually. Okay, so it's not my impression. I'm borrowing this impression. It was I saw this interview with Seth MacFarlane, and he talked about what was like I think it was one of his favorite things from Family Guy, the cutting room floor, and it was Kermit the Frog doing Liam Neeson's monologue from Taken, and it goes. I have a very special set of skills. I will find you. I will kill you. That's all I remember the monologue.
Listen, you've done very well with this recycle interview. Can you give us a swing or a not gonna do it, and we'll let you go?
Not gonna.
That's our recycle interview.